All right. I'm Michael Bonanno, and I'm going to be talking about panels in Qualtrics today. Qualtrics is the university's survey software, and it's pretty full-featured. And one of the features is the ability to use panels, which are basically a mailing list. I'm going to start. There's one thing that's a little bit confusing when you first look into Qualtrics is they use panels in two different ways. One is actually a service. It's a service that the company provides that provides respondents for you that meet your criteria. So you could just write to them, you need 350 mothers with at least 2 children, and they will find people to take your surveys for you. That is a paid service, and they have consultants available that walk you through that. That's not what we're going to be talking about today. Today we're talking about the panels that you build yourself. This is basically a mailing list that is sent out through the Qualtrics mailer. So from the Qualtrics main screen, you will see a panel called Panels, or a tab called Panels, and that is where the management of the panels is done. There are 3 steps to working with a panel. The first is to create the panel, then to add context to the panel, and finally to schedule the panel through the mailer. Most of the work is done in parts 2 and 3, but we'll start with creating the panel. It's very simple. From the Panels tab in Qualtrics, you simply click the Create New Panel button, and that opens up this window here. And you give your panel a name. Optionally, you can put it in a folder. This is not terribly useful unless you have a lot of panels, or if your institution has shared resources. Right now we do not here, so you cannot put it within a departmental share or something like that, but that could be done. After you've created the panel, the next step is to add members to the panel, and there are 3 ways to do that. The first way is 3 ways to add panels and members manually, to import from a file, or to import from another survey. The manual method is the easiest, simplest to explain, but perhaps the most difficult and time-consuming. If you hit that button, if you hit this button right here, you will get to this screen, and you simply type in a bunch of email addresses, first names, and last names. Now, actually, you only need to type in the email address. That's the only required field. Every other field is optional. In addition, you can create additional fields as well. Qualtrics refers to this as embedded data. Each field is an embedded data field. So one example could be if these are students and you wanted to track which year they are, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, you could add a field for that, and then later you might want to filter those results. So that's the manual method, and in addition to typing in here, you can also cut and paste from an Excel sheet or any other spreadsheet. Probably the most useful way of populating these panels would be through CSV files, or comma separated value files. Qualtrics gives you a nice little help screen to get you started uploading your CSV file. They also give you an example document, which I show down here. If you, in Excel, you create your own file with first name, last name, email, and then any extra embedded fields, embedded data fields. Once again, the only field that's necessary is the email field. After you have created your CSV file, you simply browse for it and then hit import. All of the members are then imported into the panel. The final way of populating the panel is from another survey. And that might sound a little bit confusing, but say, for example, one of your previous surveys asked for names, or as long as it collected the email address, that's what's important. So if the previous survey collected the email address, it would pop up this screen when you choose to import from another survey, and you would choose the survey that you wanted to import from. Here I said this on-demand movie survey, and then you would say take the field email, take the email field and take whatever their response was and put it in the email field of this panel. Now that is probably less useful, but at least useful to know that it's there. Now, after you have populated your panel, you need to do the third step, which is to activate the panel and send the messages out with the Qualtrics mailer. In general, if you're not using the mailer, the standard way of sending out a survey is to simply click the survey link under Distribute Survey, and you will get an anonymous survey link. This is just the standard way of working with Qualtrics. You can then send that to anyone you like, or you can put it on a website and anyone can take your survey. However, when you're working with a panel, you would instead click the Edit Survey, the Email Survey button, and from there you would click the Activate button, and the Activate button would bring open a screen like this. On this screen, we would say who we want to send it to, when we want to send it, and what this message will look like. So the first part of that is who we want to send it to. In this case, I'll choose my library, and then I have a panel called Group 2, and then I have a couple choices where I can select the entire panel or a panel sample, which I'll get into a little bit more, or an individual. Then we get to the body of the message. And by default, Qualtrics gives you these. This is the full contents of the message. The first part is Qualtrics inserts a link to the survey, which people should be able to click from their email. If they cannot, there's a cut and paste link that they can cut and paste into the browser. And finally, there is an opt-out link. The opt-out link opts out the person from future mailings to the panel. And this is important because you can send reminders and you can also send thank yous to the members of your panel. Now, if a person does not want to be a part of this panel, then the opt-out will automatically make sure they get no more reminders and no thank you. In addition, you can put anything else you want into this message. And you can you have a full WYSIWYG editor. You could even embed pictures, you can embed videos. But probably some of the most useful things here are from this little tab right here, which pulls up a special Qualtrics menu where you can insert your own survey links. So if you were to delete these, you could add them back in. The first one is the survey link, the clickable link. The second one is the survey URL that they can cut and paste. And the bottom one is the opt-out link. And in addition, the panel fields can also be placed here. This is where, if your panel had the first name and last name, you could grab those fields from here, and I'll show that in the demo. The final step is just to pick when to send the message. By default, Qualtrics sends the message in 1 hour. So be aware of that. If you just hit send right away and you don't see any messages being sent, it defaults to 1 hour. So you have to choose send now. If you send many messages to people in the same domain, email domain, they will be staggered over a few minutes to avoid spam detection. After the message goes out, what does the person receive? Well, they receive something like this message right here. The first one is the link to the survey, and then here's the cut and paste link. After the messages have gone out, the survey is now active. People can come in and start taking the messages, or taking the survey. If you click on the email, if you click on Distribute Survey tab and then the Email History button, you will see that in this case I had sent out 50 emails, none of them bounced, and no one had taken the survey yet. However, if people had, since no one had taken the survey, I could send out a reminder email letting people know the survey is still there. Once people take the survey, if you send a reminder, they will not get any reminders. Only people that haven't taken the survey will get it. Of course, a thank you will go to everyone. This is just an example of the reminder screen. It's going to look a whole lot very similar to the message that starts the survey, with the difference of you have the two options here of the send reminder or send thank you. Now just to show a quick demo. Okay. Can everyone see my browser screen? Okay. Yes. All right. Okay. This is the main homepage of Qualtrics at the University of Miami. And if we go to panels, we see the main panel screen. Like I said, the first step was just to create a panel, and here we will call it panel 2. And this should be fairly quick, but okay. That was all for creating the panel, and we go straight to it. After it's created, we go straight to the panel membership screen, and we can we can choose how we're going to add members to the panel. I will import members from a file that I've already prepared and browse for this file, which is right here on my desktop. And Qualtrics gives us a little preview. That I have first name, last name, email. Then I've added one embedded data field, the year, where you see different years of the students. And that's it. I will click import, and you can see from the top of the screen the import had started, and the import has completed. So if I choose my panels, I will see I now have a panel 2, and that has 50 members. And if I open up the panel, one thing I wanted to show how I can filter this panel, and say I only wanted to get the freshmen, or say I only needed 12 freshmen to reply. I can say I would like to create a new sample, and I'll call it 12 freshmen since that's all I need. I'll pick 12, and I will say add a sample condition, and if embedded data year is equal to freshman. Qualtrics is nice and goes through the answers that are available. And so I choose freshman, and I will choose fastest, and it will generate a new sample for me. So now I have created the panel. I've uploaded members to the panel. It's time to distribute the survey using the mailer. And in this case, I simply choose email survey. Well, okay. Can you hear me? Things froze for a second. But yes, now I can choose Activate Survey. And now we get back to the screen that I talked about earlier, where we simply choose the panel that you want. In this case, I can choose panel 2, and then I can choose, or I can choose the sample, which I will choose just the 12 freshmen. And I'll choose to send it now. And okay, hello again. Can everyone hear me again? Okay. Well, so now I've chosen to send my message to the 12 freshmen. I'll choose to send it now. And I don't really need to do any customization here. And I can simply save the message. And I need a subject. I'll just say, please take our survey. And I'll save it as panel. And then send the message. Now the survey is active and the message has been sent out. I'm instantly changed to the email history screen, where I can see that as of now no emails have been sent, but they will be sent within a few minutes or within a few seconds or a few minutes. And then after that is and then I can start monitoring my responses. This actions button from the email history is where you can send the thank yous or the reminders. Okay, that pretty much concludes our discussion of panels. Thank you very much. Are there any questions?